Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another adoption vlog from last week. Today's the 27th of August, so this I think is going up on September 4th, and this is probably going to be the last adoption vlog. It's crazy. I'll do stuff once she's home, but this is probably like the end until then, because I just don't know what else I would update on until then. So anyway, it's like ridiculously early in the morning. I've been up since 4 a.m. I've been waking up at 4 and it sucks because I'm waking up wide awake. Anyway, I'm not a morning person. So I lost my train of thought. I got travel dates. That's what this video is. I got travel dates. So yesterday on the 26th, I got my travel dates. It's kind of funny because now that I'm like public about things, this is going up next week, but I've already posted on Instagram everything. So, but for those that don't follow me on Instagram, you're getting the news a week after. But that's just because of where the adoption vlogs are. Whereas hopefully, when she's home, the filming, uploading will be more on time. But I do have videos pre-filmed, pre-scheduled until I think October right now, but I do have some that I can quickly edit. I'm hoping to get some editing done on the weekend, and then the week I'm off before I go get her, because I don't know what my life is going to be like after I bring her home, and I would like content on my channel Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So that's the plan, going back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we'll go from there. Taylor, do you want to come sit? Come here. Why would you go that way? You can jump up that way. So yeah, we got travel dates. Oh, puppy. And it was exactly what I wanted, what I had it to be, which I didn't fix this yet, but I'm gonna do it right now with you guys. But if you watch my video from yesterday, you already know that I was anticipating that I would pick her up on the 14th, and I pick her up on the 14th. So it's kind of crazy cool that I'm doing that. Because trip 1, as soon as I knew roughly when things were happening, I was like, I bet you I'm going to meet her on the 9th. And then with this, it was the same thing. I'm like, okay, judging by what they're saying is going to take X amount of days, I'm like, I bet you I'm going to meet her on the 14th, pick her up on the 14th. And that's exactly what's happening. So super excited for that. I don't know what to use my board for now. But yeah, so I'm awake but not there, so bear with me. So I will leave on the 11th. I will drop Taylor off on the 10th. I'm currently working. I'm back to work this week and next week, and then I'm on parental leave, which that's what I had arranged before I knew dates, because I knew tentatively that's when I probably should be traveling, and I said to myself, worst case scenario, I'm traveling the 18th or the 25th, but not likely given the timeline of how many weeks things take. So I'm like, I'd rather not be in the school with a bunch of kids, especially because I was told that if I didn't want to go on leave, I was most likely going to have to sub, and I wasn't guaranteed to be in my school. So I made the decision to just say no. So I'm there this week, kind of, we have meetings, and I'm helping like set up, well, I'm cleaning up my stuff right now, and then next week I'll help with orientation as needed, but I also said I will help out in the grade 1 classroom because those are my kids from last year, and so I know them, I miss them, so I'll help out as needed, kind of to help with that transition. But I will be masked, face shield, and social distancing. So yeah, so anyway, drop Taylor off on the 10th. I could have technically dropped her off on the 11th, but because of my flight times and stuff like that, I need to leave here at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I would have had to drop her off there at 8, and then kind of like quickly got ready and left. And that's just not something I really want to be trying to deal with. So I am dropping her off the night before, which is what I did last time. But last time my flight was at like 6 a.m., so I left here at like 2. Whereas this time it's in the afternoon. So it's kind of nice because I should hopefully have a good night's sleep. I might take melatonin, we'll see, because I don't know how my excitement will take over. And then, so I'll land on the 12th. I only have one stopover both ways. Yay! I did book my airfare through Adoption Airfare. If you are adopting and you are looking for actual good prices, go through Adoption Airfare. I've also heard of Golden something. Airfare is good as well. But Adoption Airfare was really good. I'm Canadian and I was able to just pay over the phone. And they were giving me quotes in Canadian as well. And so they were really good. The thing with when you're traveling to pick up a child for adoption, because of the way things go, your child has to fly home on a one-way ticket, obviously. And because Emirates is under the age of being able to travel alone, they wouldn't let me book a ticket for her without me doing one-way tickets too. So it was going to cost like $9,000, and the lowest possible thing I could get, even with flying, me doing round trip and then calling them and trying to get just one way with her, it was still going to be almost $5,000. And with Adoption Airfare, it was $2,300. And so significantly less. They also are able to get like super flexible terms because they do it as a humanitarian airfare, and free checked bags. So I think going there I get 3 free checked bags, and coming home I get 4 free checked bags. I'm doing carry-on only. I am checking the stroller though, so I've been kind of shoving some like diapers and stuff inside that bag, because if I'm checking that bag anyway, I'm going to put in whatever I can that's consumable. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that bag. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So I'll land on the 12th with just one stopover. It is Amsterdam, which I have not been to because I'm flying with KLM. Last time I flew Air Canada. I've never flown KLM, but I've heard very good things. A coworker actually flew with them this summer. She's originally from Europe, so she flew home for summer and quarantined like 5 million weeks because between the quarantines there and here. But anyway, so she flew KLM, and she was actually, her stopover was the same airport, the Amsterdam one. So I was talking with her just a little bit, but going there, my stopover is only like 2 hours. I'm gonna say maybe 2.5. So by the time I get off the plane, find my next plane, and we start boarding, it's nothing. I might try to grab food, but we'll see. I might just kind of get the lay of the land because the next flight I'll have Emirates with me. But anyway, I'll talk about that in a second. So then I'll travel to Sofia, and I'll land in Sofia, I think around 2 p.m.-ish. And then the driver will meet me there. I'm doing the same as last time, where I have a driver from the agency picking me up, and they will take me to my hotel. I don't want to kind of talk about where I'm staying too much before I come back. So I promise you I will film a hotel room tour. I will be filming on a few Extra Dragons like daily vlogs, but all that's going to go up after I come back, just for privacy and stuff. I just don't like people knowing where I am, if that makes sense. Like, not like people in Bulgaria, I don't watch this, but it's just one of those things where I would like to respect my own privacy and respect Emirates' privacy. So anyway, the hotel I booked in does have suites. So I did book a suite. It was not that much more, to be honest. I think it was like $5 a night more to book the suite from booking a tiny room. So the suite has like a bedroom and then a living room. There's no kitchen or anything like that, but it does have a mini fridge and a kettle. I just thought having the extra space, and I think it might have a balcony. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how I feel about balconies in Emirates yet, so we'll see how comfortable I am. But there's lots of parks nearby. There's a mall nearby. Like, there's enough stuff nearby that we won't really need the balcony, hopefully, depending on the weather. I'm hesitant to take her to the mall, but there is like a couple really nice parks that I think we will walk to. What else? So I pick her up. So I land there on the 12th and I check in. And then the 13th, which is the Sunday, I am going to order groceries online. I'm going to kind of get the lay of the land. I'm going to unpack and settle in because I'm probably going to try to sleep really good that night. And then Monday, I go and pick her up. So we will drive to her town, pick her up, and drive back all in the same day. So that morning's going to be pretty darn early because I think it's about a 4.5 hour drive. And we'll probably stop at some point the way there. Going there, we probably just need to stop once quickly for like a bathroom break and a smoke break for my attendant. But coming back, we will probably need to stop more than once. So yeah, so we'll pick her up. And right now they're not letting people into orphanages. So what will end up happening is I hand them the bag of her clothes. They will take that inside, get her dressed and everything, and then bring her out to me. I'm going to try not to cry when that happens, but I'm also going to try to get my attendant to film it. She filmed our meeting before, so I'm hoping she'll film. I'm hoping I have the same attendant. That's like my biggest thing right now is please have the same attendant. I bought a gift for her, and I want it to be her, but it kind of just depends on what they assign me. But from what I've heard is they try to do the same as the first and the second, and they try to have her as the attendant for single moms, because the other one's a male, and obviously it's more comfortable. And since I was very comfortable with her the first trip, I'm hoping they will have me the second trip. Anyway, so they'll bring her out, and then we will get in the car and run away. We might go to the passport office that day, but I doubt it because they close, I think they said at 4. So by the time we drive there, pick her up, drive back, even if we're picking her up at like 10 a.m., by the time we drive back, just the driving time would be 2 with stops. I don't know that we're going to make it. So they said if we don't do it that day, we'll do it the Tuesday. And then we kind of just wait for her passport. Once we get her passport, we wait for, they send it off to the Canadian Embassy, which then does her facilitation visa. So we are there 2 weeks, not 3. Originally the agency had told me 3. So I'm really excited about that because I didn't want to be for 3 weeks. But there's a whole lot of not really doing anything. It's just me and Emrys, which is why I wanted that bigger room, because if it's raining or it's too cold or I'm just not feeling comfortable or she's not comfortable, I wanted to be able to have some space for her. And I was talking to my mom, I'm like, I am excited to just put her down in a room and see what happens. Because I tried to put her down on the floor at the orphanage, and they're like, it's dirty, you can't do that. So I don't know, like they say she can pull herself up, which I believe, because in a crib she could do that, but I would like to see that for myself. Also, she only crawled once, which I actually did get a clip of, but I would like to see her crawl more, because she was crawling on a bed, which isn't the easiest surface. So I'd like to see her crawling more. I would like to just have her exploring, and I think having that living room area will be perfect for that. And then, of course, like, we're going to go to the park and stuff, so she'll be touching the grass, which I'm super excited for. It's the most ridiculous thing. I can't wait for her to touch grass. I have a really small, like, fold-up travel, like, picnic blanket kind of thing. I can probably fit it in my bag. I should bring that, because that would be nice to just kind of lay out. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, so on the 26th, Saturday, yeah, the 26th, we fly home. So again, we are leaving, I think our flight's at 7 in the morning, which is better than the 6 or whatever I had last time, but we'll have a car and a driver again, and they'll take us to the airport. And then we will go back to Amsterdam, which I was okay with having Amsterdam as long as it was both ways and not just the way home, because I didn't want an airport that I didn't know with her, and I didn't want it to be like a 2-hour stopover where I don't know the airport. But this stopover, it was originally like 7 hours, and it dropped down to 5.5. So like flights can change. I'm just hoping that they don't make it super long. But originally I was talking to the coworker that was at that airport, and she said to do the lounge, it's like $70 Canadian, plus Emirates would be like another 30, so like $100 Canadian. But if we were there for say 7-8 hours, it was worth it because you can have like a quiet little bubble, which I think would have helped a lot. But now for 5.5, I'm like, by the time we get off the plane, boarding usually is an hour beforehand. So really right there, we're down to 4 hours, because a half an hour to get off the plane and then an hour for boarding. And then, so now we're down to 4 hours. I can easily find stuff to do in 4 hours. By the time we find food, because the planes are not doing special meals, and I'm vegan. So for me, I can't eat anything on the flights. So by the time I get food in my belly and food to bring on the plane, by the time I change her, but like we'll be able to kill 4 hours probably pretty easily. I'll probably like message my mom, stuff like that. So I'm not too concerned. And then we will take our long flight home, which thankfully it's only straight from Amsterdam home. I didn't want to stop in Canada, especially because if we stopped in Canada, like in Toronto, we would have had to do customs in Toronto, which would have stressed the heck out of me because some of those stopovers are like 2 hours. So for me to have to go through customs with her, all that, all the immigration stuff, especially with COVID right now, and then to get to our plane on time, and Toronto airport's a disaster, especially coming in from international to then go to domestic. We got to change terminals. It's a massive headache. So I'm glad we are just joop. So yeah, we'll land, I want to say like 4 o'clock in Canada, like Calgary time, and then we'll do all the immigration stuff. We can take our time. My friend said that the airports have been dead, and also the planes have been as well. So I'm not anticipating big lines. Like when I came back in March, the lines were pretty big because everyone was trying to get back. Whereas this time, but the flights were pretty empty. So I'm looking forward to seeing how empty the airports and stuff are. Calgary Airport, I find, is usually pretty empty most of the time going out. But and then we will come home, and we are in mandatory quarantine for 14 days. So I can't pick up Taylor right away because I can't go. I'm legally not allowed to go pick her up. I was wondering if I could just pull in and they throw her in the car. Because I'm not actually interacting with anyone. But because of the time our flight comes in, by the time we get the car, by the time we drive, like it's going to be past their normal pickup time. And honestly, it might be starting to get dark, and I just kind of don't want to deal with unpacking the child, the luggage, and the dog. So I have decided to not pick her up. So I have a friend picking her up instead, because the moment I enter into my unit, I cannot leave our unit for 14 days. So we can go outside on the balcony, but anything else we cannot leave to get the mail, take out garbage, anything like that. So I do have a friend that I asked to pick up Taylor. The boarding places are never open Sundays. I don't know what it is with boarding places and Sundays. Like, a lot of people come back on Saturdays and then can't pick up their doggies. Anyway, so Taylor will be stuck on Sundays. I think I can pay extra to have her picked up on the Sunday, but I'm like, you know what? It's probably best that Sunday, me and Emrys are just here and we can chill out, figure out stuff. I can unpack. I can get her into a routine maybe. Like, we can kind of like settle things down. And then Monday morning, my friend will go pick up Taylor, and we will do like a hostage exchange in the hallway. She'll drop her off at my door. I'll open the door, take the dog, and wave. She also offered to get any food I need, which at this point I'm good for most food. The only thing I'm not sure about is soy milk, but now that our trip is only 2 weeks, I probably can stock up on soy milk before I go, because usually it's like a month plus of expiry date. So I can probably stock up, say, on the 10th, enough to last us until we are out of quarantine, which I should do. I'll have to do the math on when our quarantine would end, but it would be like the second week in October. So the 3rd would be the first one, so the 10th, if my math is right, the 10th of October. So I would just have to look for expiration dates past that, or at least 2 of them past that kind of thing. I can't remember. I'd have to do the math on how many I even need for her, but basically we should be fine. But we'll see what my friend is amazing, and she offered, and I've had lots of offers from people at work and other friends and stuff like that. Just this friend is very reliable, so and she like wants to help, because when I asked her to pick up Taylor right away, she was like, okay, and I can get you groceries and I can get you whatever you need and blah blah blah, and I'm like, just Taylor for now. I'll let you know if I need anything else. So then we'll be in quarantine for 2 weeks, but we'll be here and it'll be good because it's like a forced cocooning, which is nice. Taylor can get to know her. She can get to know Taylor. She can get to know me. We do have that 2 weeks in country, which is nice. We got that 2 weeks in country. We have that 1 day here, then adding Taylor to the mix. But that 14 days of nobody, and already people at work are like, when are we gonna see her? I'm like, COVID people. I'm like, we will figure out when the weather is good enough and we'll go to a park, and everyone can go very far away and look at her from a very far distance. Especially because I work in education. I'm a teacher, so these people are being exposed to kids, and no, you're not coming near my child. Anyway. So, wow, this video is so long. I'm so sorry, but yeah. So that's basically the plan for our travel. Our travel plans. Go on the 11th, pick her up on the 14th, return on the 26th. Easy peasy. There's not a whole lot really happening during that time. The biggest is the flights and me driving to her town and back. Well, I'm not driving, but going in the car with the driver and my attendant to drive there, pick her up. I am hoping to film with my phone and upload. Maybe we'll see. My phone is not the best at all in terms of quality, but I just thought like if I could do a quick like, hey, I have her kind of thing, because I know not all of you have Instagram, not all of you follow on Instagram, just because I don't want to leave like my YouTube people out of the loop. I will be posting on Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams, so A Few Extra Dragons is where she will be going. So if you want to see pictures of her, A Few Extra Dragons, but I need to know who you are. If you don't tell me that who you are and I don't know you, I don't mean know you, but like enough to be like, oh, hey, I'm a subscriber from Finding My Star. Can I please join? Like message me and say that and I'll let you. So A Few Extra Dragons. Finding My Star will have travel stuff. So it'll probably be pictures of, hey, this is the park we're at kind of thing. I don't intend to have photos of her on there. I do plan on vlogging from the moment I leave. So I'll probably do like I did last time. I started the day before I left. So probably start on September 10th. And then I'm hoping to do it for a year every day. So the vlogs will be 2 weeks plus behind. Right now I do have on A Few Extra Dragons the daily vlogs going up from trip 1. And I think I have them scheduled out that hopefully by the time we come back, there won't be much gap between them ending and the next ones from trip 2 starting. But I will be on like a 2-week delay for editing because I can't, like, I need time to edit, especially with 2 channels and a toddler. But that week, the 2 weeks we're in quarantine, I'm sitting at home. So when she's napping, I can be editing. Like when she's in bed, I can be editing. But yeah, so follow on A Few Extra Dragons. I'll try to remember to link it maybe in the cards. Follow on here. Follow Instagram A Few Extra Dragons and Finding My Star on Instagram as well. If you want to help support us, patreon.com/findingmystar. Maternity leave, parental leave is financially not the easiest thing, but my flights and hotel were cheaper than expected, and being able to work these 2 weeks adds more money, so I know I'll be okay. Just I don't know how much we'll be able to do during parental leave. And with Patreon, 50% goes to a savings account for Emrys, and 50% goes to helping afford to do stuff for the channel. So vlogging some adventures. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm excited that this is the last one. I think September 4th is when this is going up, which is the Friday. So next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when the Monday, Wednesday, Friday vlogs are going to start. And then on the 11th. So a week from when you're seeing this, I will be on a plane. Super excited. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe everywhere, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.